So today I did a video about recording schools and how I felt about them, but uh, immediately in the comments I got a ton of comments that came back, and I tried to respond to everything, but there's one comment that kind of stopped me, and I have to record this because it would be too much to type, and it's a dad who has a 17-year-old son that is interested in music, and he's a senior in high school, and he was thinking about sending him to Full Sail, and he just wanted to see what my advice would be to somebody like that. And I looked into Full Sail, and it says it's almost $40,000 a year for the tuition, and but that doesn't include the room and board and your expenses to be down there. So you're going to be way over that. So 80 plus maybe another 40 or so, say 100 something to be down there. And it says to get the bachelor's degree, it's something like a year and a half if you went continuously. So you're thinking maybe 150, maybe $200,000 into an education down there. And the thing about that is when you get out, finding a job is hard. And I said this before. So this guy was asking me, for his son. He said, "What advice would you have for a 17-year-old?" And when I was that age, I had such a passion for music. Anything music related, I was involved with. I mean, I did go to that recording school for a month, but when I got out of that, I went to college. I went to Temple University. I got a 4-year college degree in political science because my father wanted me to be a lawyer, and I got all good grades. I realized that becoming a lawyer wasn't what I wanted to do. But in the meantime, during the nights and on the weekends and that, I was always recording. I had it sounds stupid, but I had a cassette deck that I would take out and record a band live. And then I eventually got a 4-track cassette, and I start recording bands with my 4-track cassette. And I kept doing things like that. I found somebody who went to the recording workshop with me that owned a studio in Ireland. I went over there and spent a week or two with him, and I found out that he had a band called The Loudest Whisper, and he put me down as a co-producer on one of the songs because I spent time recording in his. He had a small 8-track studio in Fermoy, Ireland. But that little thing uh, got me some attention when I came back to the United States, and a band wanted me to do their live sound. And from doing the live sound and doing the live shows, I was only getting $20 per show, and that was me supplying a van and loading everything in and loading everything out. And the musicians were total rock stars. They didn't want to help me at all. So I really, killed myself to do all this stuff. But I was staying close to music. And then I interned at a PA company, so I learned how, to hook everything up. But the point I'm trying to make is I just kept networking and networking my way in and around the music stuff while I was going to college for a political science degree, and going to law school if I wanted to. But I always had both things going on, and my parents seemed to be okay with that going on. So for this guy who's asking about his 17-year-old son, I mean, the best thing, I mean, it is the ideal world is to get an internship at a recording studio. But like I've said before, they're slowly dying, and I mean, it may be good and bad. He may go, he may sit for a month, sweeping the floors and cleaning the toilets and that, but also be exposed to what really happens in a recording studio and say, I want to be involved with that, or I don't want to be involved with that. But that's not the only, career you can have in audio. I mean, you could get involved in a radio station, or you can get involved with audio for video. And I would say for his son, pick up a copy of Pro Tools, pick up a copy of DaVinci Resolve, start understanding how audio works. I mean, there's so much videos on YouTube on how to record in that, and then do as many projects as you can, and start recording bands, and that's how you learn things. But I mean, in a perfect world, get an internship at a studio and see what kind of gets your just kind of feeds your passion. See what you really like to do. I mean, maybe he likes playing guitar more, or playing drums, or just understanding how the production end of things work. But the money that you spend on Full Sail, you could save that. This is for the father. He could save that and just buy some equipment and have him, use it, because the father's a musician and the son is a musician. They could use it together. And, if they find out that it peters out and it's not really his passion, you can always sell it and get, some of your money back. Where that school, it's a lot of money, and the interest that they put on the money, and to have that burden on your back when you graduate is just not a good thing. So I hope this advice to this father, because this kind of hit me, you don't want to tell someone not to pursue what they're passionate about. You want them to go after it, but you also want to be sensible about it. And I kind of understand the father wants to make sure his son is going in the right direction. But if the son has the passion for audio, and in this day and age, you can find out all kind of information for free, through the internet, and the equipment is so cheap to get. He can buy that, get a Mac, get different software recording programs. That gives you some worth. So, if you walked into a post facility, or if you walked into a studio, can you run Pro Tools? Yep. And they got you, doing stuff. So that's what I would suggest to this person. And I hope this is helpful for any dad, and they have a son that wants to get in the recording industry. It all seems glamorous and interesting and lucrative, but you got to be very, very careful what you're getting involved with. So I hope this is useful to this dad. Okay.